I keep pointing to as like the perfect model that the Pistons should build in mind of is the Indiana Pacers, where they had continuity, they had young players who were doing well. They went out in the season in the in-season tournament, had an awesome run, made it to the finals. And in that January, February, when the deadline came around, when they waited to see who was going to be on the market, they got Pascal Siakam. And how's that turned out? They're in their second straight conference finals run. They went and but you know what the thing is? They were aggressive, but they were patient. They didn't just go out and jump on the guy that was available. They went and got the guy that they identified as the perfect complementary piece alongside Tyrese Halliburton and the other players on that team. And if you're Trajan Langdon, like, yeah, you have reasons to feel like you could go out and be pretty competitive this year. But in the same breath, all we've seen from the Pistons is make free agency or trading mistakes that have set them back for years to come. All the people are like, I don't understand. Why not just be aggressive? Well, because that's how we got here in the first place.
Yeah.
So, like, quite frankly, miss me with that bull.
Yeah, it's funny. We got a super chat. I appreciate you, Bear, saying why are people so content with running it back when the East is wide open, be aggressive and go land a superstar and pair with Caden Ivey. Here's the thing, Bear, and this is my kind of pushback on it. People say the East is wide open when, yeah, the Giannis stuff is the Giannis stuff. Orlando had a down year. They were very injured.
Yep.
I think Orlando goes and get Trey Young this offseason. That's just my hot take.
Anthony Simons would be a great fit in Orlando.
Yeah.
Him too. I think Philly, even with all the just drama with them, I don't think they're going to be a 20-win team next year. I think Chicago was a very interesting team. The Knicks, I think Boston is just going to have a bad year. I'd be surprised if the Boston Celtics were a playing team next year, especially with the Jaylen Brown news that came out today that he was playing on a torn meniscus. Jason Tatum's probably going to be out for all next season, and they're in cap space hell right now, and they're going to have to try to retool and kind of have tough conversations.
Here's another one. You think Pat Riley's going to sit on his laurels?
Hell no. No. I think
Sean, no, sorry. I was just going to say, Sean, I think you should bring up your take yesterday on the Raptors and what they could do and be a threat in the East.
Don't make me fight you, Leggy. Don't make me fight you.
Keep going, Anthony. My bad.
No, it's a good. I don't really think. I keep hearing the East is wide open. Make a move. Make a move. Make a move. You just got to a point where you're having a little bit of success. You were in the basement for the last 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
You got out of the basement and you're partying with everyone else right now. It would be such a Pistons thing to do to have, you're looking, you're like, okay, I can go out and get this star. And you might not agree with it, and that's okay. I don't expect everyone to agree with me on here, and that's why I have these open forums. That's why I answer questions with, fans like you guys that are watching right now. I just think the way the team is set up, the way the contracts were distributed, this free agency class blows. 2026 is where you want to have some money. You look at the 2026 free agency class, there's a lot of talent out there, and I think the Pistons want to have their hand in there. I think the Pistons want to have some cap space available.
Mm-hmm.
Tobias will be a free agent. Simone will be a free agent. There'll be some more money for the Pistons to operate with. And I don't really mind running it back because I think you can run it back. You can upgrade some certain positions, power forward, backup power forward, I should say. And there's no doubt in my mind that this team could easily win 45 to 50 games. They could have won 50 games this year if the ball bounced their way. I mean, there were several games where they just, whether it was a missed free throw or, just a collapse in the third or the fourth quarter. Like, this team is in a good spot with JB Bickerstaff and Trajan Langdon. That's just my take on it. I don't know about you guys. I don't know how you guys feel about possibly putting all your chips in for a Devin Booker, a Zion, a Lauri Markkanen, Jaren Jackson Jr., whatever it may be. Those are the names that I've been hearing nonstop for the last 3 weeks.
Is this the first normal offseason for the Pistons since 2019?
I'd say so, yeah.
Like, when you look at all the coaching changes, COVID, everything that's gone on for the Pistons, part of the reason why I think they could make a jump this season is because not only for the first time in the Wild do they have continuity, which that's massive. On top of that, Asar Thompson's about to have a healthy summer for the first time in his career. He's about to have a training camp. Guys like Jaden Ivey, he's going to have all summer to get healthier and to get better. Guys like Cade, he's going to be able to go into the summer and work on his conditioning. So, like, not only do you have a coaching staff that can actually build off of what they did the last year because it's actually tape that they don't feel like they have to throw away, but on top of that, like, you have guys who are primed to take a step. Like, if you just get two of your guys to elevate their play, which I don't think that's totally like unforeseen. If you look at some of the young players they have, like, even if a Jalen Duren just takes it up another level, that makes this a completely different team. We saw as his play elevated as the season went on, the team season played elevated as it went on, you know? Like, do you think like you're going to get the same shooting season from a guy like a Malik next year? Probably not. But like, you're still going to get the entire team to really like grow and take steps that might not matter.
Yeah. To me, it's why can't Jaden Ivey be kind of that acquisition? Because he didn't play the second half of the year. Him coming in is going to be a huge boost to this team. And I'm not going to say he's to the level of the Devin Bookers, the Giannis's, but just having that impactful player back is going to do a lot. And also, Pascal Siakam was a hot name, but he wasn't traded for that much. They acquired Bruce Brown, Jordan Nwora, Kira Lewis, 3 first-round picks, which, that's a lot, but there's not substantial names in there in terms of players. So the biggest thing is if the Pistons are patient, you're going to be able to land something like that mid-season when other teams don't have the flexibility to do so. When you're in the offseason and you're trying to go after those big names, everybody has some sort of flexibility. And if they don't, they can find a way to become flexible. They can find teams that will take on their salaries to then make a move. But if you're in the season, it gets a little bit more limited with who can do what. So I'm not going to say that we're going to go land a Siakam level player next year, but I would highly speculate that we wouldn't do it in the offseason. It would be at the deadline or right before the deadline, similar to when Siakam was traded.
It's funny because Siakam was actually on the Pistons wish list.
Yeah. So looking at the package, I wish we could have. We didn't have the picks available at that point. And I think at that point, with how murky everything was going, I don't know how that would have worked with the current iteration of the front office, coaching staff, all of that. But to be fair, Siakam is Siakam, and he would have done well with us.
Yeah, I mean, Troy Weaver actually kind of handcuffed the Pistons front office to a table for the past couple of years. I'm kind of glad he did, because who knows what they would have. Like, imagine if they were going through the 28-game losing streak and Tom Gora's Pistons owner wanted to make a splash and give Monty Williams maybe more help. Imagine like what kind of chaos could have like been if they had their first round draft pick available.
They empty all their cupboards to go get DeMontis Sabonis.
Yeah. And then if it doesn't work, you then lose Cade, because there's no way you can then build around him. There's no way you can turn it around. I mean, there's no flexibility in sight.